Hello fellow crafters, I'm Karen, and in this video I'll be showing you how to make a basic beaded necklace. This is just going to be a quick tutorial on how to make a beaded necklace. I've made several of these over the last couple of years and it's a very easy process. I'm going to be making two necklaces today, a long one and a short one, but the process is the same for both of them. And the materials and tools that you're going to need for this are up on the screen. The decorative beads that you use are entirely up to you, but there are two things that I would strongly recommend you invest in for this process. And those are the bead stringing wire, and you can see the specifics there of what type I buy. It's basically just a really flexible wire, and it gives your jewelry a little bit of shape, and it allows you to use the second item, which is a crimping bead. So get a package of crimping beads, and those are just basically really tiny clamps. So instead of having to tie a knot at the end of your string to attach it to your clasp, you'll just bend the wire, run it through this crimping bead, and then crimp it shut. I found these to be very reliable in holding it together, and you don't have to deal with any knots, and you don't have to worry about your knots ever coming apart. I've already decided that the two necklace lengths that I want are 34 inches and 16.5 inches. Now we want to cut the wire about 2 inches longer than each of those lengths so that we have enough room to use the crimping bead at the end. So the first thing that we need to do is measure and cut our wire to be that 2 inches longer than our final necklace length. It doesn't really matter whether you attach the clasp or the loop first, but I like to start with the clasp so that I can make sure that it looks nice. So I'm working with a 12mm lobster clasp, and all that you need to do is, I like to put the crimping bead on first, and don't let it slide all the way down your wire. Then you put your wire through your clasp loop, and then feed it back through the crimping bead so that both ends of the wire are coming through the crimping bead. Then you want to snug that up pretty close to your clasp. Get that bead. You don't want to have it super duper tight because it's nice to allow your clasp a little bit of flexibility to move, but you want it pretty close. And then you just want to use a pair of pliers to squash that crimping bead down on the wire. I believe they make a special tool for this, but pliers have done the job for me, so I haven't bothered investing in anything fancier. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going to do that on this other one, and then you can go ahead and put all your beads on. When you put those first couple of beads on the wire, you want to just make sure that they cover two wires when you get down to the end. So your folded over piece, as well as your main part of the wire, both need to be inside the beads. And that'll just help to reinforce that end of your necklace. And then beyond that, you can just put the rest of them on as you would normally. Try to keep them close together, but when you get to the end, you will find that there's a tiny bit of slack before you put the other clasp on. And remember that you left that extra inch on the other side, so don't go that far. Once you're finished putting all of your beads on, you want to put the loop on the other end so that your clasp has a place to attach. And as you're doing this, you just want to make sure that your beads stay tight enough that the first end of your wire doesn't try to sneak out at all. You can always fix it later if it does, but it's easier to keep it under control from the beginning. So when you get to the end that you're trying to finish, you want to put through a crimping bead, and then your loop. And then you'll probably need to use the pliers at this point because it's going to be hard to work with a little bit. But you want to put the end of the wire back through the crimping bead, and then through your other beads as well, just like it is on the first end. Once I get that wire doubled back through 2 to 4 beads, then I try to actually on purpose make that wire come out from between those beads. So that's the stage that I'm at here. And you can grab the end of the wire with your pliers and then hold your loop and just sort of pull it tight. We'll be able to cut off this end of this wire or push it back through the other beads, so it doesn't matter that it's sticking out by a little bit. And then you can go ahead and crimp your crimping bead and either cut your wire or push it back through those other couple of beads, and then you're all done. Thanks for supporting Tickled Fancy Crafting by watching this video. This content is available on YouTube and Rumble, so click the like or Rumble button to let me know that you enjoyed the content, and subscribe to see new Tickled Fancy Crafting videos in your feed. If you'd like to be informed directly about the content, ring the notification bell on YouTube or adjust your notification settings on Rumble. Comment with crafts that you would like to see in the future, and remember, you can make this.